Member for Haldimand Norfolk.
Mr. Speaker, life has become increasingly unaffordable for Canadians because of the Liberal taxes and skyrocketing cost of living. The average Canadian family now spends 43% of their income on taxes, which is more than they spend on food, shelter, and housing combined. A quarter of Canadians are even taking extreme measures of cutting back on food. Will the government end their planned tax increases on gas, home heating, and groceries, and have some compassion for suffering Canadians?
The Honourable Deputy Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we know that times are tough for Canadians. That's why we've put forward a fiscally responsible plan to support them. And here's some good news. Conservatives are starting to get on board with our plan. They announced on Sunday that they are supporting the GST tax credit. That's going to give up to $500 to hardworking Canadian families. It's time for the Conservatives to understand there's a lot of Canadians who need help paying the rent. The $500 one-time payment will help them. I hope the Conservatives will see the light on this great policy too.
The Honourable Member for Haldimand Norfolk.
Mr. Speaker, Canadians cannot afford to pay for this government's reckless inflationary spending and deficits. This government's planned tax hikes will drive up the cost of living, will affect rural Canadians, low-income families, and vulnerable populations the most. This government is out of touch with the struggles of everyday Canadians. So I ask my question again. Will the government end their planned tax increases on gas, home heating, and groceries?
The Honourable Deputy Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, a couple of times today we've heard the Conservatives talking about deficits, debt, and fiscal responsibility. Now, I would say that's a bit rich coming from a party whose leader actually had the temerity to advise Canadians to invest in Bitcoin, which would have eviscerated their savings. But I do want to set the record straight on fiscal responsibility. Canada has the lowest deficit in the G7. We have the lowest debt to GDP in the G7, and we have a AAA rated credit rating.
The Honourable Member for Haliburton, Kawartha Lakes, Brock.
Speaker, on average, a Canadian family now spends more of its income on taxes at 43% than it does on necessities, such as food, shelter, and clothing, which combined amount to 35%. Families are growing increasingly desperate as they stretch out their paychecks to fight inflation, a weakening dollar, and out-of-control tax increases by this government. When will the Prime Minister listen to their pleas, take action to cap spending, and cancel their planned tax increases on gas, home heating, and groceries?
The Honourable Deputy Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to remind the Conservatives of something Canadians understand very, very well. CPP and EI contributions are how all Canadians set money aside for our retirement and create a safety net in case we lose our jobs. At a time of global economic uncertainty, I have to say it is the height of irresponsibility, almost as bad as suggesting investments in crypto, for the Conservatives to be arguing that we should not be making these essential fiscally responsible contributions.
The Honourable Member for Belfast, Les Etchemins.